¿Y la playa?
¿Cuándo fue la última vez que probaste algo nuevo?
¿Puedo hacer esto todos los días?
Sí,
¿Puedo cruzar la isla caminando?
claro. O cabalgando si quieres.
¿En qué puedo ayudarle, señor?
Bonjour, madame. ¿Es posible cancelar mi vuelo?
¿Qué es esto?
Esto es nuestra flora autóctona.
Oh.
Y hay más. Mucho más. ¿Será por esto que sonreímos tanto? ¿O será por esto? Porque cada día es un nuevo descubrimiento. Dale un giro a tu vida.
Have you ever wondered why you always want more? More Mondays without the alarm. More first times. More leaps into the unknown. More breakfasts in bed. More whiffs of the salty sea and the countrified country. More smiles for the camera. More heartbeats per minute. More enjoying the journey. More dreams almost fulfilled. More unexpected friends. More races to anywhere. More flavors to discover. More being at a loss for words. More time. Time to lose yourself and find yourself again. In short, more moments like this. And this. And this. And what if the answer was never really what, but where? Gran Canaria. So much to live for.
Hello and welcome back to the Gran Canaria PWA Wave World Cup. We are here with Dieter van der Eycken and we are just kicking off with the women's fleet. Conditions... Improving, that's the right word. It is improving. It's not the best conditions we've ever seen here in Pozo, but we've a pushing tide, and this is going to be the best opportunity for today. And the forecast, the way it's looking today, looks like one of the better days. So, how many heats have we got left in the draw? Not many, actually. We've got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heats to get a fully finished single elimination in the women. So, that's not a lot of time. The head judge has looked at the conditions. He's given an extra couple of minutes. So 16-minute heats, 2 waves, 2 jumps to count. Let's talk about yesterday.
I mean, yesterday they made the most out of the conditions there were. I think it was a hard call to make, but they had some wind. They had some waves, little, but it was tactical. And I think... yeah, most people came out unscratched, and one big upset, I would say.
It was one big upset, definitely. One of the girls that I'd probably tipped for the podium here, Lena Erpenstein, sailing so good in the training. Obviously, bigger waves, stronger wind. She looked like she was going to be challenging. You know, maybe even for the event win. We were seeing tweak, push, stall forwards, powerful start in the wave. Yesterday, we had lighter winds, smaller waves. She came up against newcomer, total rookie, 12-year-old Sol Dietrich. You're the Belgium.
Dietrich.
Exactly. My language is not so good, but I mean, and she pulled off one of the best waves, I think, just for the whole day. Maybe Moritz Mout got the highest score of the wave, but for her...
But in the women's fleet, in the conditions there were, because I mean, Moritz, when they were sailing, it was sailing really good, but it's a bit higher tide, so you have a bit more opportunities. With the low tides, it's very hard to find here the good wave.
But 2 proper smacks in the pocket, fins out. Like, you cannot understate that wave. No. It was proper. I think she scored in the 6s or maybe
6-4 or something like this. Yeah,
she could have scored more. She could have easily got scored more, and that was what did the damage and got her into the next round. She's now got a difficult one. She's got Dider Moreno in the next round. We also saw a good showing from Maria Morales. Looked really good yesterday. She's improved the jumping. Always been strong. You know, one of the younger trials. She's always been strong in the riding, but she's improved the jumping. She's come up against Sarah Kita Offringer. Also Marine Hunter, a good display. She's going against Ibaya Moreno, who didn't look exactly happy yesterday. She was...
No, I think she was more frustrated on the conditions. I think when she was getting her waves and stuff, it was okay, but maybe she lost some energy there with being frustrated on the conditions. And I think we know the forecast. We know we're getting pushed a bit, and we have to do it today, so maybe the girls will come with a different mindset, and will be a bit more into it, because obviously yesterday they were always going to be after the first 2 rounds of the men's, and then all of a sudden they have 20 minutes to get ready, to get into the heat. Everyone is scratching around because you go from very relaxed mode to being like, oh no, we're on already. So maybe now they arrived with a bit more game mind. We got the early call that the women's would be prioritized because it's their first event in 3 years. So they need a result. I mean, in the wave men, we have Cabo Verde, and there is already, in principle, a result. Obviously, we still got a days to come. There's still wind on the forecast, but the wave side is looking a bit tricky. So,
and that's the question. It's get a result, or maybe not have anything happen, which,
again,
you know, you got to make that decision. And for me, we're going to find the best rider in the conditions that we sail in. We were seeing waves go down yesterday. We're seeing jumps. They've improved the length for the heat. So I think we're going to be okay. First heat on the water though, which is a good matchup. This Alexia Kiefer going against Justina Schnaddy. Alexia Kiefer, obviously one of the hot young talents. She finished 5th in her last PWA, her first ever, which was obviously 3 years ago.
Exactly.
I think she was 14 at the time or something.
Yeah, something like this.
Something crazy, which was an amazing result. She's had 3 years here. She's a local, but going up against Justina Schnaddy, which is not an easy heat. Justina finished 2nd here at the last competition, 2nd in Tenerife. But I think that's going to be a good matchup in these conditions.
Definitely. I think it will be tight. I think Alexia now has the back loop quite secure. Justina obviously has really good stable forward, has the back loop, and I think what we're gonna see today is a lot more competitive sailing. I think everyone, like I said before, is a lot more in their mindset, while yesterday they were kind of the chair got pulled out under their seats. And
it was like 3 years without competing.
Exactly.
Sarah said the same thing. I spoke to Sarah Keita this morning. She said, I really weirdly enjoyed just being back in competition mode. That feeling of like almost like excitement, but nerves, but everything, trying to put it together in the heat, that time pressure. If you've never done a competition heat, you won't know that feeling, but it's kind of mad, isn't it? It changes everything. It does change everything. So that's going to be the first heat on the water. Heat 13A, Heat 13B. Hunter going against Ibaya Moreno. Hunter gave a good account of herself yesterday as well. And looking at the way Ibaya was sailing, she was getting a bit frustrated because she's used to better waves. She spent a lot of time in Fuerteventura over the last couple of years, so riding some different waves to here in Pozo.
Exactly.
Maybe needed a couple of heats to get her head into it, so maybe we'll see a different Ibaya Moreno today.
I think today we're going to see a different one. I think one that's less frustrated. I think, like I said, they weren't expecting, and then suddenly they had to go game on. I think everyone knows what it is now, and they're more prepared. I think some of them rigged bigger sails than they did, and there's a bit more wind than yesterday. Yesterday was still light. We cannot forget that. You know, the girls were on 4-2.
It's colder today.
It's colder. It's nice.
Noticeably colder. Like this is more Pozo.
This
the last
more
couple
Canaries.
of days you can't feel it at home, but it's been hot. It's been so hot. The air's so hot. Here we go. We're counting down. 4, 3, 2, 1. So red flag up, 2 minutes to go. So 18 minutes until the end of this heat. 2-minute transition, 16-minute heats. These are some of the guys just warming up. And we probably should have the Red Bull Rockets.
Yes.
So the Red Bull Rockets is every rider in this top 8 for the women will have a device on them which will record the height of their jumps. It has to be landed. So we do have a leaderboard which we will be hopefully showing you during this. So we have to judge it a little bit differently because maybe we don't see the jump on screen, so we might have to check it after to make sure they landed the jump, which someone is actually doing in the background. But just to give you an idea, we will see maybe some Red Bull Rocket graphics come up, and this will show some data from the jumping. We were hoping for a proper Pozo where we would see some.
I mean, it's not done yet. We got wind on the forecast, and if we can work around that pushing tide, you know, maybe we get 2 hours one day, we get 3 hours the next day.
We could, exactly.
It
We
could
might be seeing
enough,
that.
you know?
That pushing tide can always get a couple of hours of sailing. A
Exactly.
couple of hours chipping away every day. It's not definitely all over, that's for sure.
exactly. It's gonna be a bit of a marathon, but yeah, we have to be confident that we're gonna get a result. And jumping wise, you know, the temperatures are going down. I think tomorrow and the day after will be less windy, but then Friday, Saturday, Sunday look pretty nuking. And then yeah, once it hits the 40 knots, you don't need much of a wave to get some height, do you?
No, not at all. You really just need a little bit of chop, and you'll see that with the men as well. They're pulling off doubles, off
Nothing.
literally chop, or nothing, maybe even nothing. It's crazy. I saw Parry go out last night at the end of the competition, doubles, like massive double, off
Yeah.
nothing. It's just insane, actually.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look. We should be starting very soon. Riders on the inside, Hunter on that blue and yellow KA sail. We got Justina Shaddy on the Black North. This is Abaya Moreno on the Black Severn.
Yeah. I think she will be on a 4-2.
Got 3 riders on the inside as well. So we'll try and keep an eye on, obviously, all of them.
Yeah. I think the direction is a bit better today as well. So yesterday was very strange. You would arrive at the bunker and you had no wind. I was free sailing a little bit before the women started, and in the wave there was actually some wind, and it was quite fun for riding. I mean, nothing special, but it was definitely competitive. But for jumping, it was really difficult. So it looks a bit better today, and let's see how they're doing. I think Marina Hunter off the screen hunting for a wave. Oh, look at that. That's a good starting wave. That's much better than yesterday. Backside turn, nice frontside turn.
Yeah, we definitely can't complain about these conditions at the moment.
Another
as the
front
fire
side.
opens up with pretty decent looking wave there.
That was a very good
I
wave.
think you called it. We're going to see a different Abaya Moreno today, and that looked like she just means business straight
Exactly.
from the go.
I mean, we got the better tide now a bit as well, you know. The low tide is tricky, and now we got the pushing tide. We still have it for another 2 hours, and they can really go close to the bunker now, and that allows us to ride a bit better without.
If we can keep a couple of the different girls in shot, because we do have 4 riders in this. We want to see what's going down in the heat, so hopefully we can get a couple of the riders in the shot. This is Justina Shaddy, obviously signed for North Windsurfing.
3-7, so a bit windier than yesterday.
Yeah, and she's got a ramp coming up here.
Back loop.
What's that back loop? And there, ooh, we can't quite see the landing. A little bit wetter than she would have liked.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually quite light on the landing, so quite gusty maybe.
Yeah, I think it is. She got a lot safer in her tricks, and I think she'll make it better. But that first wave came in from Ibaya at 427, Shinadi on 327, and Alexa already put in 362. So definitely a tight battle on that side. 425, yeah.
So look what's going on around the other riders. I think Shinadi's too far out to do any jumps out there. So
Yeah.
let's have a look what the other riders are up to.
Ibaya did a forward, 4-point forward. That back loop came in pretty low, 275. A bit, yeah, too wet at the end.
Yeah, it's a harsh score though, isn't it? Backy's not an easy
Yeah.
jump, but I guess at this stage of the competition,
Yeah, they need to keep some room towards the top as well, I would say. But I mean, 425, 2 frontside turns and a backside.
yeah. Okay, well that's the scale. I mean, that's
Exactly.
what the judges set at the beginning of the heat. They set the scale, so everything will work off that. But they're definitely penalising the landings a lot more this year.
Yeah.
We've seen it in the men's fleet as well.
Yeah,
So a decent forward with a decent landing is scoring more than a wet back loop.
Yeah.
Which you can look at that in different ways.
yeah. I mean, we didn't see the forward of Ibaya. We don't know if it was a stalled or if it was a normal one. I think this person is not in the heat. She's warming up for the next heat.
Yeah. Yeah. Pink Sail is not in the heat.
I think Shinadi really wants to get her jumps in and then get to the riding. The only thing you have to be careful about is that you don't spend too much time doing that.
And again, the jumps in this time of state of tide can just pop out of nowhere.
Exactly.
So, you know, trying to hunt one down is not always that useful. Sometimes you just don't find the
Oh,
route. But
she
looks
might
like
get
she's
around.
doing all right here.
Little tweak in there.
Yeah, solid landing. That's
Yeah.
what the judges want to see. Ebaya Moreno, meanwhile, has picked up a wave. So
5
now we
point
need to
wave.
pick up the other women here, because she's probably not going to do another jump on this run. So if we can find other riders.
Very interesting. Marina didn't put anything in yet. I mean, on this shot you could clearly
No,
see.
they are not in this heat.
Yeah.
There we go. That's Alexia Kiefer.
Yeah.
She's had a 3.12 forward. Oh no, that was for Justina Shelley. That seems very
312.
low,
Oh,
isn't it?
yeah. That's very harsh on the jumps.
Okay, very low scoring on the 13A side of the draw. Just 3.12 for that forward and 2.5 for the back loop. So
Yeah. Alexia coming in to change to a bigger sail, I think. Still got 10 minutes to go, so
yeah,
Marina Hunter just coming up from the bunker. Maybe a bit underpowered, maybe took the wrong sail size, and she got a 4.38 forward, so she had a good forward.
decent by the looks of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a nice hack. Then running out of water.
Yeah.
So will she go 4.2 as well, or?
She seems all right at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the 3.7.
Exactly.
I mean, put a good heat together, but I'm not sure the scores. I'm going to say they're just feeling like they're leaving a lot of room
Yeah.
for the upside. So we'll have to wait and see. Alexia on a much bigger sail now.
Oh, she's gonna get the back loop ramp. Back loop. Bit cleaner, but not that much. Justina saw that though. Is that gonna put nerves in her, or?
Good sail choice though.
Yeah,
Change the sail.
definitely.
So how much more is that than, if it is more than the first back loop from Schnady?
Maybe we'll go 3.5, 3.2, something like this. I mean, Ibaya just did a back loop as well, 3.88. So definitely looking at much more clean landings than.
So Ibaya actually getting a 2.8 meter jump on her back loop.
Yeah. Or forward, one of the two. Oh no, her back loop was a bit higher.
So we're hearing the women and the men are on the same scale on the jumps.
Okay.
That's how it's working.
Alexa has a nice wave in the background there.
She's down the bunker. We don't usually
Yeah.
see it on that, but that's a
Ooh, ooh.
decent section, but just dropping off the back. So not going to score much for that.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Back loop scoring 2.5. So that does make sense. They're scoring it on the same level as the men's scale.
Yeah.
So the scale is exactly the same. And that's something we've not always seen, actually, on the
exactly.
PWA.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
I guess it makes it easier to compare the two.
And the judges get less confused. So 5.25 forward. That must have been a good forward there.
Hunter, what she got, wants the backy, doesn't quite get round it. I think the only problem you're going to find is the scale is going to be very squashed.
Yeah.
Which, it's interesting. It's actually the first time I've heard them do that. Oh, just look very powered up on that forward.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That's a
the
hard
thing.
choice. Sometimes, especially around this hour, you can pick up so quickly here in Pozo.
It does look big. I've never usually see Alexia on that sail.
No.
She's always on the, I don't know what the duotone different sails are, but this one is the it's the grown-up sail. If that's the
Yeah,
right
but
word.
she's been on all those sails,
Okay.
but I think she just
Okay.
went to a 4.2 or something like
Okay.
that, which we're not used to.
So at the moment, on the scores at the moment, Ibaya Moreno putting a really good heat together. We've not seen much of her on the actual screen, but she's had a 5.38 forward, which I'm guessing is either a table forward or a stalled forward, because that's a big score for a forward,
Yeah.
so maybe a stalled. Back loop 3.75, a 5 point on the wave, and a 4.62. So already on 18.75. Hunter at the moment still on 7.48. So a lot of work to do from Hunter. And looking the way Abaya started that heat, she means business today, and I think you definitely called that.
Yeah. I think competition is a mindset, and you cannot forget that they've been competing for how many years? 20, 25 years?
Yeah, before 2000s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 20 odd years, 25 years probably.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which is more than some of the girls who are competing.
Yeah. Well, you got 12-year-old Sol.
Exactly. It's when they already had 9 world titles under their belt, I guess. 12 years ago.
So we're seeing a lot of Schnadi and Alexia Kiefer in this heat, but it seems to be where the battle is. On the other side of the draw, it does look like Ibaya, barring an absolute disaster,
Has
is
it?
in
Yeah.
control.
I mean, that's one of the higher scoring heats. I think last round, Sarah yesterday, obviously it's different scale potentially, but Sarah was around 19 and all the rest of the scores were 16, 15, so she's definitely stepped up her game, did a lot better, and who knows, maybe she's leading the highest jump at the moment as well. I mean, there's some prize money in that.
Yeah, for sure. Red Bull Rockets, €2,500.
Yeah, winner takes 2.5. Women 2.5, men 2.5.
Decent prize. So at the moment, I think Abaya is leading that with a 2.8 meter jump.
Yeah.
Not all the riders choose
here
to
she
take the
is.
device.
Big backy.
And that's a proper backy
That was
there.
a nice backy.
3.2 meter jump.
She just crashed by the end.
Oh, so that won't count in the Red Bull Rocket. So we have to be careful with that. Quite interesting. 2.5 seconds in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine on a good day here in Pozo how high everyone's going. It'd be really interesting to see those results.
Exactly.
It's going to come down to waves as well. Some of this, look at how close the judging.
Yeah, definitely.
The scores are on the jumps. The waves are going to make all the difference.
Yeah, it's going to be a big difference maker. I mean, I think Ibaya knows she has two good waves already, so she'll probably just try to up that back loop score, because that's still hurting her score a little bit.
Well, Lexia's still looking for this second jump, and it looks like she's choosing not to ride until she's got it. And a back loop from Hunter makes it. Board's a little bit... Oh, I was going to say the board was upside down, but... Alexia just needs to probably put in a forward loop so she can concentrate on the waves.
Exactly.
Or maybe she just needs to do some waves and see if a forward loop, presents itself, because the forward these girls can pull off chop like she just does there. So very low forward off chop.
Yeah.
Probably
I'm curious how it goes.
Yeah, probably won't be a big scorer. We saw Schnadi get a kind of tweaked forward.
Yeah.
Which was pretty stomped.
Yeah.
And that scored a 3.12. So we're expecting lower score, but how much lower? That's the difference.
.238.
Yeah, 238. So 0.7. So it's probably going to come down to waves, which might work in Alexia's favour.
2 minutes to go only.
Time is ticking, that is for sure. Alexia already has a 3.88 on the wave, though. She is about 1.5 points behind. So needs to find 1.5 points. Needs to find just a 2.5 wave. It's not a lot.
No.
Really wouldn't take a lot with 2 minutes to go.
Exactly.
But will something get upgraded? Are we going to see an upgrade on the jumping from Schnadi? She's definitely capable of doing it. Let's have a look at the other riders if we can. Looks like Hunter is waiting for a wave, but her side of the draw is kind of done. So the real action is between Justina Schnaddy and Alexia Kiefer. That's where the action is at. The duotone of Alexia Kiefer and the black North Windsurfing sail of Justina Schnaddy. Looks like down the bunker is where the ramps are coming up. There we go. Ibaya's looking for something. Hunter's riding. Where's Alexia Kiefer? That's the question. This girl, Ibaya Moreno, has already got this heat wrapped up with 1 minute 20 to go. We really need to find the other riders. There we go. That's the two riders in your shot. The purple sail of Alexia Kiefer and this black inside sail of Justina Schnaddy. That's where the real battle is going to get thrown down. And a table forward coming in from Justina Schnaddy. We didn't see it on the screens. 4-0, and that has definitely helped her cause with 1 minute to go. Maybe taking control of this heat. A good wave now would definitely help. And that's a nice little hit down the bunker as well. Backside turn as well. Keeping this flowing. This is the harder turn. More clue first.
Does it perfectly.
Nice. Didn't want to push too hard there with that onshore wind. So that is definitely a good run for Schnaddy. Tabletop forward 4 points, increases her score. And I think she's increased her wave as well there. But where is... Oh, she's had to tack out. So she didn't find a wave. Alexia, 25 seconds to go. Schnaddy has got 1 foot in the semi-final. Ibaya Moreno, I think, has got both feet in the final. But can Alexia Kiefer cause an upset? She is capable of putting down a big wave score. But she needs a wave. She's turning and hoping this is going to turn into something, but it doesn't look good as Schnaddy goes for a back loop, doesn't make it, and Alexia Kiefer's on the beach. I think it's all over.
Yeah.
A very solid heat from Schnaddy, actually.
Definitely kept the nerves nicely down.
Yeah, sailed a really solid heat, really well worked. Didn't let it get too flustered, which you could see Alexia maybe got a bit flustered. Didn't get a wave rise in.
Changed sails, didn't really...
Probably felt the nerves then.
Yeah.
Ibaya Moreno, really solid performance from her, 18.75, and Hunter, we didn't see much of her on camera, but what we did see looked pretty solid.
I mean, she was really keen on landing the back loop. Maybe she lost a bit too much time there. I think maybe in the double, if she just tries to do a tabletop, get that forward in, and then scores on her wave riding, where she's actually really good at, then maybe she can make a bigger difference than trying to land the back loop, which in free sailing she doesn't land often enough. She lands them, but not often enough to really focus on it in a heat. Now you're against the Ibaya. It's different.
That's the problem. You're going against the bar. You've seen her doing what she's doing.